Welcome to our overview of freedoms in practice, controversy over the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. The fierce debate today over gun control illustrates much about the nature of political discourse and citizen action in the United States. Americans disagree about how to interpret the Second Amendment of the Constitution, but they do agree to have their disputes settled through laws and court rulings rather than armed conflicts. Private citizens and political interest groups use their First Amendment freedoms of speech and assembly to voice their opinions about the place of guns in society. They also work behind the scenes to influence elected officials through campaign contributions and lobbying. At the heart of this debate is the question of the role of guns in creating a safe and free society. Americans disagree about the purpose and the contemporary significance of the Second Amendment, which reads, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed." Some people argue that the amendment gives individual citizens the rights to bear arms, free from government control. On the opposing side, others stress that the Second Amendment's original purpose was to ensure that state militias could back the government in maintaining public order. These people suggest that the right to bear arms is thus a group right subject to regulation by Congress and the states. The unorganized militia has not been activated since before the Civil War, and the government now has adequate weapons to defend the nation, these critics say. States differ widely in the degree to which citizens have access to guns. Some states allow residents to carry concealed weapons for personal protection, but others do not. In 1976, Washington, D.C. passed the nation's toughest gun control laws, including a ban on handguns, rifles, and automatic weapons, except for individuals with a special permit, mostly police and security guards. In the 2008 Columbia v. Heller ruling, the Supreme Court ruled in a 5-2 decision that the right of the people to keep and bear arms is not limited to state militias, but rather in part of the inherent right of self-defense, striking down the district's handgun ban. In the 2010 McDonald v. City of Chicago ruling, the court ruled that the 14th Amendment incorporates the Second Amendment to the states, requiring them to respect these laws in state law. The disagreement over the Second Amendment's meaning is reflected in the actions of ordinary citizens and organized interest groups. For example, the Million Moms and the Second Amendment Sisters are two interest groups with clashing views on the issue of gun control. The Million Moms see stronger gun control laws as a way to prevent the alarmingly high number of U.S. deaths of young people from gun violence, an estimated 10 deaths per day. The Second Amendment Sisters believe that guns are a woman's best tool for self-defense and give her the ability to protect herself and her family. Both groups have joined vocally in the public debate, exercising their freedom of speech and assembly to influence opinions about guns in the United States. They disagree over how to best protect themselves and their families in a dangerous world. Each group struggles to interpret the Second Amendment to fit its members' own understanding of social needs and problems today.